I was thinking about what my last show for 2024 should be. Should it be a celebration of this year's biggest hopes and achievements? Maybe a reflection on the fears we overcame? I love stories of surmounting odds, but instead, I kept coming back to something else entirely. The biggest lie of the year. What if I told you this story has everything? Mystery, conflict, surprising twists, and even a reveal that might make you rethink everything you thought you knew. It's a tale of how one spark turned into a wildfire of misinformation, leaving confusion and heartbreak in its wake. But here's the thing. Buried within this mess are lessons we can all learn to do better in 2025. Have you guessed yet what the biggest lie of the year is? It's a doozy. I'll give you a clue. It involves pets, immigrants, and a social media firestorm that made national headlines. Got it yet? Don't worry. You'll know soon enough. Let me say this right up front. This story is completely apolitical. It's not about left, right, or center. It's about how a single rumor turned into a tidal wave of misinformation. The real focus here is on how we, as people, react to the unknown and the unexpected. Hey, by the way, if you have a question you'd like to ask, drop me a line through oldguyinsights.me. That's me. I love this story because it has so many great moments. Surprise, a big reveal, and an outcome no one saw coming. Get comfortable and let's dive into a tale that's equal parts bizarre and eye-opening. And trust me, you're going to want to stick around for this one. So what happens when fear and gossip collide in a small town? You get a storm of chaos, confusion, and division, all sparked by a single unverified rumor. We've all heard the phrase, a lie can travel halfway around the world before the truth has a chance to put on its shoes. But in today's world of social media, it's more like the lie is on a supersonic jet, scattering sparks of panic with every mile, while the truth stumbles behind, just trying to find its shoes. And here's where it gets interesting. This wasn't just some random misunderstanding. It became one of 2024's most bizarre and damaging viral scandals. Pets, immigrants, and social media chaos all collided, leaving a town reeling and a country scratching its head. Those sparks we'll dive into later, they came from two sources, each one more unreliable than the last. But for now, let's stay with this firestorm and look at the damage that it caused. Let's rewind to earlier in 2024. It all started with a single social media post. A vague claim that pets were disappearing and Haitian immigrants were to blame. No photos, no witnesses, just a story passed along like a bad game of telephone. Fear of the unknown is like watching a horror movie. Our minds are overactive directors, turning the smallest creak into a full-blown monster attack. And social media? It's the soundtrack, amplifying every sound until it's deafening. Meet Dave. He's a retired factory worker who loves his quiet life in Springfield, Ohio, with his dog Buddy. Buddy is such a good boy. Dave doesn't spend much time online, but his neighbor Carol sure does. And she posted a vague warning, "Watch your pets. I heard something terrible happened to my neighbor's cat." Within hours, the comment section exploded. People started speculating, adding details no one can confirm. Dave scrolls through, his stomach tightening. What if Buddy is next? And just when you thought the story couldn't get any weirder, people started talking about geese and sauce and parks and... but we'll get back to that later. The Springfield, Ohio police investigated. Their findings? Nothing. No stolen pets, no bizarre meals, no evidence at all. But by the time the truth came out, it was too late. The damage was done. The rumor exploded with gusto, spreading faster than wildfire. While the ultimate truth, it was barely shared, more like a couple of whispers that never reached anyone's ear. It reminds me of that old saying, the best place to bury a dead body is on page 2 of Google. Nobody will ever find it. Because of the irresponsible rumors, schools had to be evacuated repeatedly after hoax bomb threats kept coming in. I can only imagine the chaos. Kids clutching their backpacks, filing out of classrooms, staring wide-eyed at flashing lights and cops and hearing sirens, and parents frantically texting, asking if their kids were safe. And then, as if the situation weren't tense enough, a group of about a dozen out-of-towners arrived in Springfield. They marched through the streets carrying swastika flags and rifles, their faces hidden behind ski masks. At times, they raised their right hands in the infamous Heil Hitler salute. They walked near one of Springfield's festivals, shouting their rhetoric, while the community looked on in disbelief. The day ended peacefully, no violence, no arrest, but the sight of those symbols and the gestures left an undeniable chill. And why did they come? Were they trying to stoke fear, provoke anger, or simply make a statement? Well, perhaps the bigger question was it necessary? Was it wise? Only you can answer that. Even Springfield's Culture Fest, 20 years of celebrating diversity, was canceled. It's bad when the one event designed to bring people together gets shut down by fear. It's like canceling Christmas because the Grinch sent a vague email. Local businesses suffered as people avoided public spaces. Tensions escalated, and community meetings needed extra security. Springfield wasn't just scared, it was divided. And while the Haitian community bore the brunt of it, the entire town paid the price. This isn't the first time a story like this has caused chaos. No. False claims about immigrants stealing and eating pets date back more than a century. It's like a bad sequel to a movie no one wanted, just recycled scripts with the same tired villains. Springfield, in particular, has an even more compelling story. Back in 2011, Gallup labeled it the unhappiest city in the United States. Industries were closing, unemployment was rising, crime was increasing, and local residents were leaving in droves. By 2014, the city was desperate for a change and made a deliberate push to welcome legal immigrants to help fill a critical labor shortage. Thousands of Haitian migrants answered that call, bringing much-needed vitality to Springfield. Since then, companies have built new plants, factories, and warehouses, creating jobs and laying the foundation for a more stable economy. The influx of legal immigrants wasn't just welcome, it was necessary to support the city's recovery. Yet here we are, letting fear and misinformation undo so much of that progress. Fear often distorts the truth and makes progress look like a threat. And remember Dave clutching Buddy's leash? He wasn't alone. History shows us that fear of the unknown has always been a powerful weapon. But Springfield is learning something different now. How to turn that fear into opportunity. Here's a surprising bit of good news that came out of all this. While viral rumors were entirely false, they brought attention to a real issue. Some Haitian immigrants were struggling with driving, something that was more about adaptation than recklessness. As one local official put it, some of the people who are here are driving probably for the first time. And also the laws and norms of Haiti are just fundamentally different as far as driving than they are here. So instead of letting it become a divisive label, the state stepped up to help. The driver's manual was translated into Haitian Creole, and 10 driving simulators have been installed in Springfield to help the community become safer and more confident drivers. Hey, it's a small but meaningful step towards integration and mutual understanding. But ironically, one of the bigger losers in all of this is the town of Springfield and the local residents. Some of the Haitian immigrants who are here legally don't want to remain the focus of continued hatred. A few are moving out to other cities seeking safety and acceptance. This exodus, even if it's small, could have a ripple effect, negatively impacting local businesses and companies still struggling to find enough workers. Springfield has taken steps to rebuild trust, but the economic consequences of losing even a small part of its vital workforce may linger for years. And while the town works to heal, there's a bigger lesson here for all of us. What happens next time a spark like this catches fire? That's something we probably all need to think about. So, who gains from a lie like this? Is it trolls looking for clicks? Is it bad actors or foreign governments trying to divide us or sow division? Or just social media doing what it does best, amplifying outrage for engagement? Misinformation thrives because it doesn't need proof, just plausibility. And in a world where emotions drive clicks, the louder and more outrageous the claim, the further it spreads. It's like tossing a lit match into a room filled with dry leaves. By the time you realize the truth, the fire has already consumed everything. But here's the hard truth. While the targets of these lies, the Haitian immigrants in Springfield, paid the highest price, we all lose when fear replaces facts. Trust erodes, communities divide, and real problems go unsolved because we're too busy fighting shadows. Let me tell you about 2 sparks that lit this rumor wildfire. And no surprise, both came from shaky sources. The first was a Facebook post. A Springfield resident claimed her neighbor's cat was missing and that she'd been told a Haitian immigrant was responsible. No photos, no witnesses, just a story passed along like a bad game of telephone tag. And here's the twist. When pressed, the so-called neighbor admitted the alleged cat owner wasn't even someone she knew directly. Instead, it was, in her words, an acquaintance of a friend. Translation: pure hearsay, dressed up as fact. The second spark came from a video of animal cruelty. Blurry, distressing, and entirely unrelated to Springfield. The incident happened in Canton, Ohio, 170 miles away, involving a U.S. citizen who had no connection to the Haitian community. Yet this video was weaponized, adding fuel to a rumor that had no basis in reality. Think about it. 2 completely unrelated stories. One post on Facebook and a video from another town combined into a baseless claim that changed lives. That's the power of misinformation. It doesn't need truth, it just needs a spark and some oxygen. And remember, every time we hit share without stopping to think, we add oxygen to that fire. What could we do instead? That's what we need to explore next. The story of Springfield isn't just about one small town. It's about all of us and how we handle the information we consume. Misinformation doesn't just happen, it spreads because we allow it to. And every post, comment, or share either builds a bridge or burns it down. My interest in this story and rumor has little to do with the actual people behind it or the people impacted. One of my life mottos is, there's no sense wasting a perfectly good mistake. And here's the mistake we can all learn from. It's not just about the sparks that start the fire. It's about the oxygen we provide by reacting, sharing, and amplifying. I don't want you to pick sides in this situation. but to think about what each of us could have done better to avoid being the arsonist, fanning the wildfire of misinformation. Forget about immigrants, Haitians, dogs, cats, geese. Think about the next time a rumor catches fire in your own community. Could you be the one to stop it? Could you pause, verify, and maybe even extinguish the flame before it spreads? Or is this just part of how the world works now? Is stopping it even possible? I'd love to see what you think in the comments. And what do you think? Should people who knowingly spread false rumors face any consequences? Or should we simply hope that individuals take more responsibility for fact-checking themselves? It's a tough question, but it's one worth asking. And let's not forget Dave. Holding Buddy's leash and scrolling through social media, feeling the fear spread like wildfire. What if that fear didn't have to spread at all? Next time you see a headline that sparks outrage, ask yourself, who benefits if I believe this? Who loses if it's a lie? Treat every sensational claim like a reality show trailer. There's always more to the story. Hey, choose truth over outrage. Pause, verify, and remember, sometimes the real story is the one that doesn't go viral. As we close out this year, I hope this story leaves you with more than just disbelief at how far a lie can travel. Let it be a reminder that we all have a role to play in shaping conversations around us. Misinformation is like fire. It spreads fast, destroys trust, and leaves scars. But here's the good news. Every one of us has the power to put it out. So as we head into 2025, let's be the firefighters in a world full of sparks. Let's be the ones who say, hold on, what's the full story? And let's build communities that choose curiosity over conflict. Thank you for being here with me today. And if you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Until next time, do good things, and remember, don't be a dick. See ya.